Welcome to the last virtual-only meeting of the Rotary Club of Baton Rouge. I'm your president, Haggai Davis, and our speaker today will be Jill Garner, who will be more formally introduced in a minute. We'll start off the meeting with an invocation from Michael Tipton.
Please bow your heads. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather today during this challenging year. As we increasingly get the opportunity to see family and friends and each other again, and as things begin to return more to a normal cadence, please help us keep in mind those who continue struggling from this past year and from all the challenges inherent in the world around us. Please help us to support those who support those in greatest need, whether they are amazing angels who serve children in times of challenge, those who serve seniors in their time of need, or everyday people as we see a problem and seek to make it better. We ask that you help our Rotary Club and all who call themselves Rotarians to live into our motto of service above self. And we ask that you continue to help us meet the challenges our community will face in the months to come. Amen.
And now we'll have the pledge led by Stephanie Regal.
Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the 4-way test by Narisha Kurtz-Glover.
Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oops. Sorry about that. We got the wrong one. You know the 4-way test. Thank you, Narisha. Okay, so a couple of announcements. April 7th, next Wednesday, we are back in person at Drusilla. You will need to register in advance. The email went out today from Sherry. Please click on that link because you'll have to, number one, say you are coming. And number two, make a selection, either the salad with the chicken or a catfish dinner. But your dinner, your lunch will be plated. There's no buffet for now. So please do make that selection. And I'm so excited. Can't wait to see everybody back at Drusilla. April 7th, next week, 7 days from now, be there. The April 10th, the Mississippi River Plastic Waste Reduction Initiative is something we're going to be participating in. This is part of the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative to try and rid plastic from the Mississippi River and tributaries. So there's a link. We've sent this out. Sign up. You can select any one of the 12 different Metro Council districts around the parish. Pick up trash in your neighborhood. No, you don't have to go to the Mississippi River. Right now, the river's way too high, and it's kind of dangerous to get down there and do that. Any trash picked up anywhere helps, because even if it's on the curb in front of your house, when you pick up that trash, next time it rains, that trash doesn't make its way to the drainage system, which gets into the tributaries, which ends up in Lake Maurepas, which goes to the Pontchartrain, which gets to the Gulf, which gets to the Atlantic, and all that plastic and everything gets into the food system. That's what we're trying to eliminate. So any trash picked up anywhere helps. You will want to download the app. There's a marine debris app. It's a very simple app, but you're going to take a picture of the trash that you pick up, and it's going to use your GPS and a time and date stamp, and then that piece of trash will be put into an international database. This is part of the National Geographic, University of Georgia, and several other big prominent organizations that have been working on this. This database is a global database with millions and millions of pieces of trash having already been collected from around the world. So do get involved. Please go and register. When you're going through the registration, select the Rotary, one of the participating organizations, just so that they know as a Rotarian you're out there helping. So April 10th, get involved. You can stay in your part of town. You can go wherever you want. If you want to drive to a different part of town and pick up trash, that's fine. any trash that we can pick up and make record of where that trash came from helps. It gets it out of the system. And so please do that. On April 14th at Drusilla, we're going to be giving out vaccinations. For those of you who have not had the vaccine, I have had my second shot now, so I'm good to go. But if you've not yet had the vaccine, we will be providing the Johnson & Johnson one-shot only vaccine on the 14th. If you need the vaccine, please show up and bring a friend. We don't care. You'll need to register in advance to let us know that you're coming, that you need the vaccine, and that registration link will go out soon. But please do get the vaccine. It's important that we all get the vaccine. The sooner we get the vaccine and everybody gets it, the sooner we don't have to wear masks. So with all that being said, now we can go on with the program. Bill Peters will introduce our speaker for the day. Hi, Bill.
Hi, yeah, how are you? Fellow Rotarians, today it's my privilege to introduce Jill Rigby Garner, Executive and Creative Director of the Manners of the Heart, which is a thriving service organization located in Baton Rouge. Jill founded Manners of the Heart in 2002 to confront the incivility in our society by first offering an elementary school curriculum, followed by the Gold Mom's Choice Award book, Raising Respectful Children in a Disrespectful World, which I've referred to many times for my child raising. The Business of Manners training program grew out of a request from local, state, and national businesses seeking assistance in establishing a culture of respect that could become self-perpetuating and self-sustaining. Working tirelessly for more than 20 years, Jill has become a highly regarded subject matter expert. She's appeared on the CBS Early Show, CNN, and more than 350 radio shows. Locally, you can hear Jill's Manners Moments, which is a daily radio broadcast promoting respect, and it airs on the iHeart Network. Jill's delivered trainings across the country, inspiring educators, encouraging women, and elevating businesses. Something really exciting going on is she has recently entered into a contract with one of the nation's top publishers to produce a series of books and offerings on championing respect. Having had the opportunity to work with Jill for several years, I consider her one of our country's best kept secrets. Her heart is truly dedicated to creating a greater level of respect among all people, including civility as a key ingredient. This May, Jill and Manners of the Heart are launching an aggressive statewide campaign called Champion of Respect. It's a call to action for each one of us. It's a call to spread the message of respect far and wide, a true compliment to Rotary's four-way test. Fellow Rotarians, please join me in welcoming our own fellow Rotarian and Champion of Respect expert, Jill Rigby Garner.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rotary Club, for this opportunity to share the work of Manners of the Heart and to introduce a new project that Bill mentioned that has the potential to bring Louisiana to the forefront of a national focus on respect. Do we have the PowerPoint? Is the PowerPoint working? I can't tell. Wouldn't it be great if we could show the rest of the country that right here in Louisiana, the state that always seems to sit on the bottom of the right list.
Jill, can you click on your presentation?
Yes.
Presentation mode?
Yes. Oh, it was there. Okay. Is that it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we see? Okay. I'm so sorry. I refuse to admit that I'm old enough to have challenges with technology. So wouldn't it be great, as I was saying, wouldn't it be great if we could show the rest of the country that right here in Louisiana, the state that always seems to sit on the bottom of the right list, and we always seem to be on the top of the wrong list, that we have an answer for the toughest struggles in our country. So before I introduce the project that's going to shine a bright light on Louisiana, let me share a quick overview of our programs. Many of you know Manners of the Heart through our work in the local elementary schools. You may have heard of the Maryville stories, where wise old Wilbur and his buddies live in an idyllic little town, teaching children life lessons that they carry into adulthood. Or maybe you've read our parenting book Bill referenced, Raising Respectful Children in a Disrespectful World, or perhaps you've even attended one of the Business of Manners trainings. But what you may not know is that the message of Manners of the Heart reaches far and much deeper than what you see on the surface. Let me show you what I mean. It has been proven through a university research study that schools who implement Manners of the Heart with fidelity can expect to see a 30% reduction in discipline referrals, while other schools not implementing Manners of the Heart see a 28% increase in discipline problems. There's a 44% decrease in emotional issues such as fearfulness and nervousness. There's also a 34% decrease in peer social problems such as bullying. And all of this leads to a 15-point gain on their school performance score. And this really came as no surprise to us, because we know at Manners of the Heart that educating the heart opens the mind to instruction. Rick Hamilton, an instructor at the Visual and Performing Arts School, said, and I quote, "You can teach children to do math, you can teach children to read, but without Manners of the Heart, you cannot instill the desire to learn, the desire to succeed." It is true, Manners of the Heart has the key that unlocks the heart of a child to the whole world around them. Well, let's talk about our family workshops for just a minute. At the end of those workshops, the most common comment I hear from parents is, well, I thought I was doing everything the experts told me to do, but somehow my children are not turning out as I'd hoped. My family structure is just not working. But now I know what's wrong. It's because we were working toward building self-esteem, when what we really need and what our children need is self-respect. And what about those business and manners trainings? I am so pleased to say that 2 years ago, before as COVID is hitting, our training took two of our favorite folks, some car dealerships in Dallas, to the #1 rating nationally in customer service and satisfaction in their respective divisions. You can see by the photos here, we have a lot of fun in the business and manners training, and then sometimes we really get down to some tough business. So we are making progress. We are in schools and homes and businesses that subscribe to the principles of Manners of the Heart. But our fractured culture makes it all the more difficult. In fact, living in today's society has actually become detrimental to our health. I'm sure you would agree. The truth is, the pandemic isn't the only threat to our wellness. Look at these devastating statistics. 64% increase in antidepressant drug use between 1999 and 2019. That's even pre-COVID. 40 million adults in the U.S. over 18 are affected by an anxiety disorder. And very sadly, suicide has become the second leading cause of death among 10 to 24-year-olds. 1 in 6 children, ages 6 to 11, has been diagnosed with a behavior disorder. In a recent parent survey conducted by Manners of the Heart, 89% of parents shared they were fearful of how their child will be treated in the world. I want to repeat that. 89% of parents were afraid of how their children will be treated in the world. This is where Manners of the Heart steps in. Long before COVID and the struggles of 2020, Manners of the Heart was working to encourage our community to take a fresh look at how we interact with each other and how we educate and parent children. After 20 years in the heart education business, Manners of the Heart finds itself paving the way toward a critical dialogue on respect. You know, it seems as if all the years and all the work leading up to this point in time have really only been preparation for the important work yet to come. In the classroom, children are being prepared successfully to meet the life's challenges. And we're doing that by giving them a deeper understanding of respect. We're helping them see that giving respect is the first step toward gaining respect, that giving it comes before gaining it. And that is especially true in the face of disrespect. Well, we believe it's time for our society to follow suit. And I hope that we can all agree, for a community to thrive, mutual abiding respect must be the foundation. So, today, I would love to give you a very first peek at the project that Bill mentioned and that I hinted toward at the beginning of the presentation. This is a project that we believe will truly become a social movement, birthed right here in Louisiana, that will spread across our nation. And as you can see, it's called Champion of Respect. And it's going to officially launch May 1st. But I was so pleased today to have that opportunity to share it with the Rotary Club first and let you get a little insider's picture of it. So thanks to the generous support of seed funding from the Wilson Foundation, we've been able to engage Tilt, which is a Baton Rouge-based design and branding firm, to bring their creative genius to this project. I hope you'll agree in their genius when you see it. As with everything we do at Manners of the Heart, we always turn first to Louisiana companies. We're taking the lead in mobilizing what we see as Louisiana's greatest resource, which is our people, in an effort to reawaken respect in our society. And why are we doing this? It's all for the sake of the next generation. So I have a thought for you. Haven't you been really proud of us during the last year of social unrest? I have. As difficult as it has been, and as heartbreaking as it's been, Louisianians have not fallen prey to the violence that so many other areas in our country have experienced. It's not that we don't have a lot to learn, and it's not that we don't have a lot to work through. We certainly do. And it's not that we haven't experienced our own tragedies. Yes, we certainly have. But what I believe makes Louisiana different is that we have not allowed any of it to tear us apart. And as I've been thinking about why is that so true, I really believe it's because underneath it all, we have a deep, abiding respect for one another. Here in Louisiana, we want all of our children to succeed. We want them to grow up and become all they're meant to be. In Louisiana, I believe, like no other place in our country, here we know how to build a cohesively diverse, let me say that again. We know how to build a cohesively diverse community that learns from each other, that doesn't ever feel the need to destroy each other. Who better understands that and lives that out than Louisianians? At Manners of the Heart, one of our a mantra we have is that we believe that one day we will see a world where the attitude behind the action reflects respect. While this concept may at first seem a bit idealistic, a lot of people say, really, Jill? Change does become attainable through the realization that respect begins and extends from one's immediate circle of influence. As others see what we do, they emulate what we do, and it begins to spread. The good can spread just as fast as the bad can spread. We will achieve sustainability as the pervasive message of respect takes root in the hearts and lives of our citizens, and we begin to create a new legacy for those who come behind us. So the true call to action through the Champion of Respect is a commitment to live out the values that title implies. Is to choose respect, to be a champion of respect, to promote respect in all of our daily interactions. So our deepest desire at Manners of the Heart is to birth this movement right here in Louisiana as a bright light of hope for the rest of the country to follow. Well, this movement has to be and is a grassroots effort. It's a grassroots effort to encourage all of us, as I said, to choose respect. And now how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to promote it through media support from creative billboards. Lamar has already stepped in with such generous support. These amazing creative billboards, which will change out constantly, giving a different message and reminders and hopefully a reawakening of respect that we've lost. Radio spots, many of you may hear our daily spots currently aired on iHeart, our Manners Moments. Those will continue with even more robust numbers and spill out across into other networks. Television commercials, there'll be print ads. Julio is so graciously stepped up, and you'll be seeing it in 225. You'll be seeing it in the business report. Bus bumpers, social media posts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. It's going to be everywhere. And all of this is going to be constantly fueled, constantly ignited by each of us. So how are we going to start this? First, we're going to turn to businesses. We're going to turn to the businesses to push out the initial awareness. We're going to do that by hand delivering 250 business toolkits to the businesses all around in the capital region. So I do want to mention, if you'd like to be one of those first recipients to help us get this started, you can visit championofrespect.org, which is launching today. You're going to get to see a little touch of a preview of it today. And you can send an email to info@mannersoftheheart.org. Again, that's info@mannersoftheheart.org, and just say, I'd like a business toolkit, and we'll add you to the list. So what's in that toolkit, so you can understand what's coming? Well, the toolkit consists of posters and signage that you see here for your business, and all of it promotes the business and the message of respect. And we're doing it in a lighthearted way, but hopefully it packs a powerful punch. We're offering also an outstanding training called Respect in the Workplace, and that will be available to help businesses and nonprofits and organizations create a culture of respect right where they are. So I hope you like what you're seeing. Tills has done an incredible job with taking this message and presenting it in a way in really attractive materials that can be posted all over your business. And you'll see here's another one, how to plant respect. Today I can choose to hold the door open for someone else. You know, it's the little things that make such a difference, isn't it? One of the things we firmly believe at Manners of the Heart is that if we do enough little things right, we'll create something wonderful. Just as when we neglect enough little things, terrible things begin to happen, which is where we are today. So in addition to the business toolkits, we do have something for everyone, for all of us, for young and old alike. We've got t-shirts and decals and more, and all of these are with that message of respect. We're asking you to become a champion of respect. I love the I love the muscles. I love the muscles on our champion, right? And you know what's interesting about respect? The more you give respect, especially in the face of disrespect, the stronger you become. Because with every incident, when you give it, especially in the face when you're not getting it, in the face of disrespect, you gain more self-respect. So I love the muscles on our champion respect fella. Schools, I don't want to leave our schools out, of course. Schools have the opportunity to become schools of respect as well in their classrooms and all across their campuses. And a school doesn't have to be a Manners of the Heart school, not at all. We want every school to participate and become a champion of respect. We have some wonderful wonderful trainings that we can do for the teachers and the administrators in the schools, all based around respect. What does it look like to truly create a culture of respect on a campus? We have the training, as I said, that goes across every adult on campus so that children begin to hear the same language with every interaction they have with any adult on campus. So we're really excited to be able to do that for the schools as well, because this is where this all comes back to. And so I want to circle back to the schools for a minute. As I mentioned earlier, why do we do all this? Everything we do at Manners of the Heart, everything we do is for the sake of the next generation. One of those things I believe with my whole heart is that each and every one of us are responsible for what we do during our time here on earth to make the world a better place for our children and for their children. And you know, for those of us in my age bracket with grandchildren behind me, I really firmly believe we're the ones who've really got to step up and really embrace this, because our children are busy making a life for our grandchildren. So I firmly believe it's critically important that we do this work and we participate in this moving us back and reawakening respect as the foundation for how we converse with one another and how we go about living life together. So one of our students, I wanted to share this with you, coming back to our children. This is in a Manners of the Heart school, and this was a fourth grader. I hope you've had a minute to read that. This is a fourth grader from Highland Elementary School who has been immersed in Manners of the Heart. Let me read what she said. Excusing others and excusing me, that's one of our lessons, is her favorite lesson, because it talks about learning to be the bigger person. When conflicts arise, it means being prepared to deal with that conflict with respect. We also learn to talk about our troubles instead of yelling and calling names. Ouch. We are learning that violence is never an option to resolving conflicts. When Taylor submitted this essay in our essay contest, the question she had been asked is, tell us your favorite lesson and why. Isn't that amazing? A fourth grader. And this Taylor's words echo our belief that not all disrespect ends in violence, but all violence begins with disrespect. So the hope of bringing an end to the discord in our society, I believe it's an agreement that mutual abiding respect is the foundation from which to start. It's respect that allows each voice to be heard. Shared respect that leads to understanding. Compassionate respect that leads to forgiveness. Reciprocal respect that restores rather than destroys. Unconditional respect that replaces hatred with love. Respect connects us at a very personal level. It reflects an attitude developed from deep listening and understanding. Respect honors all of us by creating a safe place to have difficult conversations and leads us to an environment of honesty and mutual trust. A champion of respect shows the next generation how to resolve conflict in a way that moves us forward as a cohesively diverse community. I just love that thought. A cohesively diverse community. I think that's one of the greatest aspects of Louisiana. We've always had a diverse culture. We always have. And we've always loved each other. And we appreciate our differences. And we want to learn from each other and understand each other. And I believe it's in a way very different than anywhere else in the country. That's why, to me, this just makes so much sense that this would be birthed out of Louisiana. We know here that when we work together and we champion respect, we can replace despair and hostility with hope and civility. Maybe it's because we've been through so much tragedy in Louisiana and so many hardships and difficult seasons when we all pull together. Why can't this be another season when we pull together in a way that the rest of the country really takes note, and they want to learn from us for a change, and they want to do things the way we do them here. So if you're interested in becoming a champion of respect, if you can put your email address in the Facebook chat box, I believe, and we can capture them there. Or you can go to info, send an email to info@mannersoftheheart.org, and just quick email, just shoot it over and say, I want a business toolkit, or I want to learn more, I want to be involved in some way. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm really excited today that I can give you kind of a VIP access to our brand new website at championofrespect.org. You'll see there, if you go and take a peek, as you scroll down, you'll see a little bit of the billboards, a little bit of the media. We'll be adding to it as this builds and grows. You'll see a shout out to our precious, deeply appreciated seed funder, the Wilson Foundation. You'll see that there, and we'll just continue building and adding. You'll also scroll down to a place about a third of the way down, I believe, where there are some PDFs that are yours for the taking that you can click. You can print, use them in your business to kind of jumpstart this movement and the awareness of Champion of Respect. And then, as I said, as we get closer to May 1st, we'll be giving a lot of detailed information there about how you really can become a champion of respect, what it means, what you can do, and how you can do that right where you are. So I guess in kind of bringing this to a close, ultimately, as I keep saying over and over, everything we do at Manners of the Heart is for the next generation. And we firmly believe that the decisions we make today will determine whether our children will have a country they can enjoy or one they must endure. I hope you'll choose to join the movement and become a champion of respect.
Jill, that was awesome. Thank you very much. The idea of respect, everyone is very much in the Rotary four-way test. So I love what you're doing. I think that's a great movement and support you. Sasha Thackberry did ask a question, how to get involved. I think you pretty much answered that there at the end. And Henry Grace was asking, are the East Baton Rouge parish schools involved in this in your system yet?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We already have several elementary schools that are involved. There already are Manners of the Heart schools. And I have met with Dr. Narcisse, I'm pleased to say, and he is very interested in pushing it out even greater into more schools. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. But I think I mentioned in the presentation maybe that we will be offering schools of respect. Any school can become a school of respect at any level, anywhere in the state of Louisiana, well, anywhere in the country, they can become a part of the schools of respect.
That's great. Jill, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you back at Drusilla.
Yes, I can't wait. Can't wait. Thank you so much again. Thank you.
All right, have a great day. Okay, so that's our meeting for the day. Do want to remind you, next Wednesday, April 7th, we will be back at Drusilla. Our speaker will be Paula Pellerin Davis. She's going to talk to us about the state of the state, and looking forward to that. Again, go register, because everyone does need to register in advance to come, because we need to know how many people are coming, exactly which meal you're going to get a name tag. It's either going to be one color or the other. That's going to decide, it's going to let the servers know which lunch you've chosen. And so far, we've already had 35 people who've already registered in the first hour and a half, because it looks like everyone else is just as excited as I am about getting back to Drusilla. So see you there next week, April 7th. Looking forward to it. And with that,